Hey YouTube, this is Orion making another vid. If you like my content, please consider hitting the like button. Also, please consider subscribing. It is very much appreciated. This is my overview of the DiamondBlades PD-1, also known as the Personal Defense Survival Knife. This is a knife supplied to me by my old man for review purposes. It is an overview. I have done very little cutting with it. I've mainly just tested it for keenness, and that the only reason I didn't do any cutting with it is because Dad hasn't done much with the knife. He has quite a large collection of knives, and he basically hasn't got around to using it much. He has bought it a fair while ago, so it's just a matter of time for him. He just hasn't got around to cutting with it. So it is just an overview of my impressions of it and the stats and all that for it. So you can only go on from that and what I've heard from other people. These are quite a rare knife. There's only one company who makes them, and you probably won't see many of them around because they are a US company, and you'll see later in the overview why you won't see many of them around, because they have proprietary things that are going on with them that are patent pending. So that's why you won't see many of them. Anyway, on to the overview of the DiamondBlades PD-1. The DiamondBlade PD-1 is a drop point survival knife with a full tang, micarta handle scales secured over the tang, but they actually have small areas cut into the full tang here to put small survival items. And if you notice here, on the securing the micarta handles, there are 3 lugs with torques, and on the sheath they supply a Allan key. So it isn't actually a torque, it's an Allan key, sorry. And you can take the handle scales off, and that allows you to go into the small areas there that you can place small items in there. The blade is a friction forged D2 high carbon tool steel. The blade's advertised HRC of 65 to 68 on the spine and 42 to 44 on the, sorry, I got that wrong. It's 65 to 68 HRC on the edge and 42 to 44 on the spine. The friction forging is the proprietary patent pending process that they do. Now, if you look, there is a humming running along here, just along there. And basically with the friction forging is they have a high-speed die that they run along the edge that hardens this edge. Now I'm dumbing that down quite a lot. You can read on the website how they do this process, and I'll put the rest of the stats in the bottom of the description bar as per normal, and I will link DiamondBlades in there as well, and how they do this friction forging. And this is the only knife that I know of that actually does this friction forging. And one of the advantages of this friction forging is D2 is a semi-stainless steel to start with. But with this friction forging process, it actually makes it a little bit more stainless as well. They also advertise in there that they put a 18 to 20 degree sharpening bevel on it. So they actually put a fair few stats on it there. Just showing you around the knife. Quite a good edge. It's very keen from the factory. Do laser curls on phone book paper. That's the only thing I've cut with it. I asked Dad about it. He was a little bit ambiguous about me cutting with it. So I just said to him I wouldn't do any cutting with it other than cutting paper with it. And it is quite sharp. Just to look around the knife. Full spine, full tang, as I said. Got a lanyard hole there. Carries all the way to the tip. These are marketed as a survival knife. There it is in the hammer grip. Fits my hand really well. I do find it a little bit skinny. That's the only complaint I find with this knife. It is a little bit skinny here. I do like a little bit more substantial handle, but that's fine. There it is in the saber grip. Plenty of room. Obviously use the pommel as a striking surface. But as I said, they do market mainly as a survival knife, but they also do say it is a personal defense and survival knife. So that's all in the spiel. This is the sheath it comes with. It's a Kydex sheath. As I said, it has a place in the back there for the tool to take the handle scales off. This is the one thing I don't like. I've never been a fan of the stuff being hidden, like put in the scales, because if you ever lose that tool, you basically can't get to the stuff. I do like the idea of stuff being on your sheath. And I know then if you lose your sheath, you've lost all your gear, but if you lose your sheath, you lose your knife too. But I would have preferred a pouch on the outside just to hold stuff. Personally, that's just a personal opinion, but this is how they've gone. So you've got a few fish hooks and whatnot you put in there. And the other thing is too, you can really only fit a few little bits and pieces in there. Like, you're honestly not going to be able to fit very much inside there in actual fact. So I don't know how much use it is. Something's better than nothing, but I don't know. I just don't see that as a very good option. And if you ever do lose that tool and you don't have any other option, any other like multi-tool on you or whatever, you're never going to get them out anyway. But this is how they went. So they do supply a tool there. The sheath's pretty good. It's got options, you know. This is another thing. It straps over. I'm not a fan of that either. I would have preferred a loop over maybe, or some other way. It does protect the knife, I suppose. But again, overall, it's not a bad sheath, and it does work well. But yeah, it has room for improvement, but it's still perfectly adequate for what it does. It doesn't have very good retention, like, the knife easily falls out. But, yeah, it works as a sheath, so that's its primary function. Okay, these are made in the US. The designer is Charles Allan. Kydex sheath, as I said, with the tool for scale removal. The current cost, I looked on the website the other day, is US $325 plus shipping, I'm assuming. I didn't check up on what the shipping costs are. I'd expect it to be in the region of $40, $50, maybe $60 US. I don't know. With the COVID too, shipping from the US can be quite expensive if you want to get it over here reasonably quickly. As I said, the unique friction forge blade process delivers incredibly high HRC edge and a softer spine. So it's basically differentially treated. So you get incredible HRC at the edge and a softer spine. It's a well-designed blade shape for the survival knife. As far as I'm concerned, the drop point shape and overall design of the knife is well designed for exactly what it's designed for. You know, like the shape, size, everything. I haven't used it for that, but I could see how it would easily work for that type of thing. It's probably a little bit small and light for chopping ability, but for just as a general survival knife, I definitely could see how it could work quite easily for that, for most other tasks other than heavy chopping. Small chopping, no dramas whatsoever. Not a problem at all. But, heavier chopping, it's not going to excel because you need a lot longer blade. As I mentioned, the friction forging process does give the D2 a far more stain resistance ability. I'm hoping that's coming up. You can see that humming like along the blade. I'm trying to get the light so it picks up. There is a polished part along the blade there on both sides where the dye runs along the edge. There it is there. You can see the different colours of where it is. There, yep. It's got very good fit and finish. It's a very well built knife. I've gone over the entire knife. It's a really well made knife. Really nice. Everything's contoured. Feels really good in the hand. A little bit skinny for my liking, but I can't fault it as far as fit and finish goes. Just looking around the knife. It's very well built. And then lastly, I'm not going to do pros and cons for the knife. As I said, I haven't used it, so I'm not going to do that, my usual pros and cons. Lastly, it has been reported, I was talking to a member on ABF who had a smaller version, a smaller diamond blades, and he did note that it had incredible, very high edge retention. So, and I can see why at HRC 65 to 68, it would have to have really good edge retention. I could see that being. The only thing is you're probably going to have to use diamond stones to be able to put an edge back on it. But that's like, there are plenty of diamond stone sharpening devices like sharpening systems out there now. So putting an edge back on it, and especially how they've already told you that it's got an 18 to 20 degree sharpening bevel on it. Many of the fixed angle sharpening systems can cater for that. So I can't see like resharpening it would be any problem. And you just, yeah, as I said, you're probably going to, because of the high hardness, you're going to have to use diamond stones. But other than that, yeah, it's it would present no problems to diamond stones. But yeah, they reportedly have very high edge retention, and I can see why, because of that, be 65 to 68 Rockwell, and that's in the regions of Maximate and that type of incredible super steels, and this has got the same sort of high HRCs of those type of steels. So yeah, I could see why. And they all have that incredible Rex 121 has that type of HRCs, and I'd say this would probably fall into that type of category for edge retention. But I'm only guessing. I haven't seen any cut tests done with this one. But as I said, they are quite a rare knife. You wouldn't see many of these around. One last look. They have a bit of billboarding on the blade, just diamond blades. Their friction forging process technology, patent pending. Their model number, made in the USA, all that. Just showing you around the knife. It's a very nice knife. Unique. Yeah, I could say unique because you won't see many of these around. I just wanted to thank Dad again for allowing me to put it on my channel because, yeah, it's quite a rare knife. As I said, I'll put the rest of the stats in the bottom of the description bar, but I just wanted to bring a bit of a different knife onto the channel because, yeah, you won't see many of these in Australia, I can tell you that. One last look around it. And there's the sheath, as I said. And it fitted in. I won't loop up. It's fitted for Dad and it doesn't fit on my hand. But anyway, that's my overview of the Diamond Blade. In conclusion, yeah, I could see it as being a very viable medium belt knife for a survival knife. Probably a bit small for the larger chopping tasks, but other than that, perfectly suited to what it was designed for as a personal defense and survival knife. And being this size with a 5.6 inch blade, yeah, it's easily portable and it's not that heavy either. Like weighs 8 ounces, so it's easily put on your belt and carried around. And being this size, you're going to want to carry it around, where with the bigger knives, you probably might be a little bit hesitant to put it on your belt. But anyway, yeah, that's my overview of the DiamondBlades PD-1. Thanks for watching.